Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you may be listening, whatever time it may be. My name is Ryan Dooley. That is my co host, Justin Baker, and we are your hosts for Let's Talk Reds. Justin, we're talking about Tyler Stephenson today. We want to call him the captain of the infield. I don't know if it's really him or Ellie. I'd say it's probably Stevenson. Been the catcher for quite a bit. Caught up in 2020. So going into what his seventh season? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, seventh
Sixth,
season in the
seventh.
big leagues.
Oh.
Um, yeah. Any initial thoughts here before we kind of dive deep into his stats and stuff here?
No, I was just saying off camera that I feel like Stevenson's a very, um, just kind of regular run of the mill guy. You're not going to get anything too flashy from him. Uh, he's probably going to hover around the same stats that he's had previously. But he's just a solid starting MLB catcher, which you can't be too mad about.
Yeah, you can pretty much just go look at his like career averages and pencil that in for what he's gonna do. Like it's not a big fluctuation with him. I will say, I guess before we start into this, if you guys have watched these and are enjoying kind of what we're doing with these, make sure to let us know down below. Let us know if we've missed anything so far. Give us suggestions on video ideas to do kind of as we approach the season that is rapidly approaching. Yeah, and kind of let us know. Just let us know if you're enjoying these or not. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. We'll kind of dive into his numbers here. We'll start with the offense. I think we've started offense with every single hitter. Kind of said it. You're kind of expecting the same kind of that 240 to 260 average. Hit about 10 to 15 homers. Drive in what, about 50 or 60 runs? Like it's pretty much every year for the last. Let me just look at the. Let me pull up the years that he's been healthy. So let's see. Well, easier said than done, I guess. We'll go his last three full seasons as I click off this. Um, yeah, let's see if I can pull up his averages here because I can't pull up his full season for whatever reason. Can I not? Okay, well, can't do that. Anyway, that's about what you're expecting out of him. Is that kind of 10 to 15 homers, hit about 260 with about 50 or 60 RBIs. You expecting anything different out of him this year?
No, and I don't think we have to, because that's, like I said, that's a very respectable mark for a major league catcher to have. He, he's just like he's probably a little bit above average when it comes to catchers being able to hit. He gives you pretty standard run of the mill defense as well. It seems like pitchers like throwing to him, so there's not too much more to ask for from your catcher, especially if he's going to be another solid bat in a lineup that has other guys around him. He might have more RBIs this year because there's probably going to have more RBI opportunities just because the guys in front of him are probably going to be on base a little bit more. But I think RBI tick up would probably be one of the things that I would look for. Other than that, like you said, 260, 10 to 15 homers with 60, 65 RBIs is something you're going to take and run from a major league catcher.
Yeah, exactly. He's currently slotted to hit sixth in this lineup, so you're right. And the fact that the big five that we've already kind of talked, we haven't talked about Friedel yet, but Friedel's going to be an on base guy. And it's Friedel. Right now, it's Friedel, McLean, Ellie, Suarez, Stewart, Stevenson. So he's going to have more guys on base, and he's going to have more clutch situations to kind of come through in, which he's been pretty good at. If I just from recent memory, I've never really had Stevenson up and been like, oh man, like I wish it was anyone else. Like, I'm always like, okay, let's go, Stevenson. This guy feel like most times in situations like that, like he's gonna put the ball in play, which is funny because last year he struck out the he was about the worst in K percentage. He had a 34% K percentage, which was just like awful. Like it literally first percentile in the league. Like he's gotta cut down on that a little bit. Because correct me if I'm wrong, like he's always been a strikeout guy, but not really like a oh my god, he's going to strike out every time. And until last year.
Yeah, it's I don't know. He's kind of like a sneaky. It's kind of a sneaky strikeout guy where some of the other people in the lineup strike out a ton, and it's like, oh, he's probably. But like Stevenson, it's I don't know. You never really have that feeling when
Okay.
it's coming. It's like, oh, guaranteed strikeout.
Yeah, no. Okay, so in 2023, he had a 26% strikeout rate. In 2024, he had a 23% strikeout rate. And then last year, he comes in with a 34% strikeout rate. So, yes, last year, he just decided for whatever reason that he was just going to strike out a ton.
Yeah. So I don't know. I I would hope that that regresses a little bit back to the mean,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
That's unreal. Has he ever been like a 2020 to 45%, but just like what 100 or what did he do in how many at bats did he have? He's on 89 pitches. That's not really
That's what we call a statistical outlier.
yeah. 2021 he was really good. 19% strikeout rate. Like it's been and I'm not expecting that, but like that low to mid 20s seems to be where he's lived at until last year. Also almost a 31% K or whiff rate last year. That's not good. Like it's maybe he needs to be a little more selective in what he's with in his approach, which is surprising because I think he's always been a guy who's been pretty good about that. Um, yeah, his underlying numbers from last year say that he should have been a lot worse than he was than those final numbers kind of came out. And it wasn't a good year for him last year. I don't think. I mean, I don't think it's something that he looked at and was like something to build on. I think it's kind of like, hey, let's kind of get back to that more 2024 stat line of 258 with a 782 OPS and 19 homers. Like that's kind of where he wants to be at. But another part of it's kind of the story we've had with him. It feels like every year since he's been called up, and it's like you've got to play like you've got to play more games. He's been hurt too much.
Yeah, and I think it kind of helped last year with Jose Trevino being there that it's you have a guy that you can toss back behind the plate and feel good that you're not going to get a major drop off defensively. Anything he gives you with his bat is kind of a positive. So, and like I said, with those some of those numbers, you'll probably expect those to regress back to their mean because that's kind of what happens in baseball. You have some really good years, some really bad years, and then the rest of them are kind of just in that median level. Um, I would hope that he's able to stay healthy. I think that he doesn't have to play every day since some of the other additions that we've had. We're not relying solely on his bat like we have before, where it was like, oh, Tyler Stevenson's not playing. We just lost one of our major pieces. It's like this year that doesn't feel like it's going to be quite the case. Um, so hopefully that'll be able to maybe give him a little bit more longevity behind the plate. So I don't know. I think he's set up pretty well this year to be kind of like the person that we don't really talk about as much since some of the other bigger names, but he can kind of coast under the radar and just give you consistent quality catcher play.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy where I'm okay if I'm not having to say like if I'm having to say his name, it's probably not for good things. Like it's just kind of like hey, like yeah, Stevenson's been fine. Stevenson's been what we need to. It's when he becomes a liability in the lineup. Um, Also, if I remember correctly, most of his injuries have been like freak stupid stuff. It's been like when a ball was like fouled off his hand, like he gets hit by a pitch, like it's stuff like it's not like he's wearing down. I don't think from catching. It's just like stupid stuff that he keeps getting hurt from.
Yeah, like it's the collarbone injury where he took a foul ball off the collarbone.
Yeah,
He's been hit in the hand a couple times, hit by some pitches. Like those, some of those aren't really controllable injuries. So that's just
it's
another
not like
comes
wear
with the
and tear
sport.
catching related. It's just like he's got
Yeah,
gets
he
hit by
just
a
has
pitch. Like every guys get hit by pitches all the time in the hand.
it's kind of just the luck of baseball and some of these injuries that he's had. So I mean, you can't really account for someone getting smacked off the shoulder and breaking their collarbone.
Yeah.
That's not really something you expect to happen. It's just kind of a freak injury.
Now, one interesting thing here to talk about. Um, he's a free agent after this year. So this is his final year going into free agency. I would assume the Reds are going to extend him, but you don't know that. I mean, I think he has to probably play a little better cuz I don't know who the backup plan like Alfredo Duno's not ready yet to take
No.
over. So like I don't know who the backup plan would be behind Stevenson if you're not going to re-sign him, but I don't know like last year like if he goes out and only plays 88 games again and hits 230, I don't know that the Reds are too eager to like sign that.
Yeah. We kind of saw that was the case when they took him to arbitration, which I believe he ended up winning.
Yes.
But um, yeah, it's kind of interesting, especially with him about to be a free agent, that you go to arbitration with the guy. But I don't know. Nobody really knows the motives behind that outside of the Reds front office, which good luck getting that information out of them. So I think you'll play it by ear. If he does really good, I think they're going to be more inclined to try and get him re-signed. But if he puts together a 220 season, they might see if they can go find something somewhere else.
And the one thing I will say with Stevenson too is like he kind of has to hit because he's not a liability behind the plate, but he's not like good defensively either. It's just like he's fine. It's just last year was a good it was a nice change. He was really really good at blocking last year, which is way different than years previous. He was one of the worst blockers in the league the last couple years, and then last year is I mean, he was bottom fourth of the league every year of his career in blocking until last year. Last year, he's 95th percentile in blocking, which really good. Him not being a good framer is a little better now with ABS. His pop time's not great. Like he's not. It's not like a Key Brian Hayes situation where if he's hitting, 210, you kind of start looking at like, hey, maybe Jose Trevino should play more. Like I don't know. He has to bring some spark offensively to be valuable in this lineup.
Well, when you look at a 6'5" catcher, I don't think you're immediately thinking that he's a defensive first guy.
Yes.
So it is known that he is there for his bat. Now, being around Jose Trevino, who is a really good defensive catcher, might have had some of the impacts on his blocking numbers picking up, just because you have a platinum glover that's kind of around you every day when you're doing defensive catching drills. So yeah, I don't know. I think you might owe Jose Trevino a little bit to the defensive improvements, and now you're getting into another year with him. So we'll see if he stays the same defensively or maybe has a little bit of improvement further with his framing and blocking. But once you look at Tyler Stephenson and you're not being like, oh wow, his defense is really great. We need to keep
Yeah.
him in the lineup. It's hey, does he hit that 95-mile-an-hour fastball 400 feet over the wall or not? That's
Yeah.
kind of the question with him.
Stevenson's at his best when he's hitting the ball the other way. 100%. When he's driving the ball in to the right center gap and over the right field wall, that's when he's at his best. To touch on the Trevino thing, it's actually really funny. So Trevino, he's always been a really good blocker, but he's an incredible framer. He's one of the best in the league. Would love to see that rub off on Stevenson a little bit. Funny enough, last year Jose Trevino was very bad defensively. Like not good. 22nd percentile in blocks, 68th percentile in framing, 10th percentile in pop time, and like it's it's CS, it's like catcher something above average. CS is it caught stealing above? I don't even know what the CS is. But
If he
29%.
caught stealing.
He was bad. He was not good at defensively, which is really funny because I was like that's what he's been is really really good defensively. He's actually better offensively than he normally is. Would love to see the framing come back for Trevino and would love to see it rub off a little bit on Tyler Stephenson.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that he's probably still going to be a solid catcher this year defensively. We don't really have a reason to believe that he's going to regress too terribly.
Yeah.
I mean, you might see a little bit of a setback, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make him either unplayable or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll say some of the numbers are a little scary from last year. Like with the expected slugging and everything kind of being a little bit down, and the expected batting average, and some of those ones, the X Wool, with stuff that kind of stuff being a lot lower. Um, but I don't know. It feels like until I see something else from Tyler Stevenson, I'm really not gonna sit here and worry about him.
Yeah, I don't know. I
He is
feel
what he
like once
is.
again he's going to be the consistent numbers that you've gotten in the past, and that's probably what you're going to get again.
Yep. Also great leader. That's something we need to talk about with him. Is he the longest tenured Red?
Yes.
I was gonna say 'cause it's him or Antone, but Antone's starting in AAA.
It's I think it's him.
Yeah, he came up in 2020. I can't think of anyone that would have been on that team.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I'm
Antone.
pretty sure even last year he was the longest tenured Red.
Yeah. So and he's been through the hard days with the Reds. Now we're seeing some success with the Reds. it's always been talked about as being very outspoken and trying to be more of a leader in that clubhouse, and it's gonna be really good. We got a guy. Well, yes, the longest tenured. I mean Suarez, but he also hasn't been here for a while. So, yeah, it's gonna be good to see him kind of be a clubhouse leader this year and kind of see where he steps up with that. He can do so much stuff off the field with the team in that way that makes him even more valuable than just his
Yeah,
average and stuff.
because
Um,
like Tyler Stevenson is Cincinnati. His
yes,
career is the Cincinnati Reds. I
yes.
believe we drafted him, developed him. He is a Cincinnati Red. So
Let's take a look.
that's
I feel like the line I want to go with him to try to make a prediction on here is probably games. Like I want to, is he going to be healthy? So he's actually been he's been a little more healthy I think than I thought. Let's put his line at 130 and a half games. So does he play more than 130? I'll give you some numbers. In 21 he played 132 games. In 22 he played 50 games. In 23 he played 142. 24 138. Last year he played 88. So 3 of the 5
well,
years he's gone over.
I believe 2022 is when he broke his collarbone and
Yes,
missed
missed a
the entire
ton.
remaining of the
Last
season.
year he played 88 games.
I would say probably I would take the over just because, like I said, we're not heavily reliant on him this year, so there's chances for him to get his off days and have his load managed a little bit more, but I still think he gets over that number.
Yeah, it's kind of just if he stays healthy. Because I think if he stays healthy, he goes over that. Because like we kind of said that like we do have Jose Trevino, but we don't really have like a guy that's like the problem with Trevino when he was with the Yankees was like they had Austin Wells just like ready to go, and Rortvet was there, and Rortvet was having a good year. Like we don't have anyone like pushing Stevenson out of his spot where it's like if he's healthy and he's fine as long as he's not like a liability in the lineup, he's gonna play. Um, Fangraphs has him at 112 games, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Uh, I will I will also take the over. I think you can kind of pencil him in every day. I think he's learning how to take care of himself better. I know he was hurt last year, but he did talk about that a lot last year, and you see him wearing all the hand guard, elbow guards, whatever. Like he's trying to keep himself healthy. I do think we're going to be able to get Trevino in more to kind of give him his off days when needed, and I think he is the everyday catcher this year, and hits 240 with 17 homers and 54 RBIs.
Yeah.
That's what we see out of Tyler Stephenson. I got nothing else. You got anything?
Nope.
Sweet, sweet. All right. If we missed anything about talking about Tyler Stevenson, or if you have any predictions on what you think his season is going to look like, let us know down below. Follow the socials that you see at the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, like and subscribe helps us out a lot, and we will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Let's Talk Reds. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Talk Reds. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. Also, leave a comment letting us know what you think we missed or points you would like to see us make in a future episode. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, click on one of the videos on your screen right now, and let's go Reds.